Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the DeFi market and learn how you can take just a little bit of money and make it grow with quite insane percentages. We're talking hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, even millions of percentages here. So I know it does sound way too good to be true, but it is real, I can assure you, and if you stick around I will show you exactly how it's done. And the only thing you're gonna need for this to work is to set up MetaMask in your browser and add the Binance Smart Chain. And if you haven't already set this up, then I do have another video where I show step by step just how to make it work. So please check that out and make sure your MetaMask is set up and everything is good to go on the Binance Smart Chain before you move any further. And once that's all in place, I just have one last thing I want to make you aware of before we start, and that is there are a lot of potential risks in what I'm about to show you. First of all, there's tons of hacks. It happens almost daily that this or that decentralized app or the protocol or whatever is hacked, or someone managed to find an exploit and siphon all the funds without paying. And also there's tons of fake coins on here, so if you're not paying properly attention, you might think that you're buying, let's say, I don't know, the Binance token, and it turns out you're buying a Binance token or something stupid like that. And most of the time there's not even going to be an obvious mistake like that, because they're made to look just like the real thing, so they're actually indistinguishable from each other, and scammers make tons of money from people actually buying the wrong coin. And then of course there's also the risk of impermanent loss, which is when you add two different tokens into a pool and one of them changes in value, then that's going to have a huge impact on not only the one token that did change, but also the other token you paired it with. And finally there's also the rug pulls or exit scams, if you will, that also happen quite frequently in this scene. Remember, a lot of these platforms are coded by totally anonymous developers, so it's much easier for them to just take the money and run. But the biggest risk of all is what happens if you don't click the like and subscribe button. I think we all remember what happened on the Titanic. Not a single person had either liked or subscribed, and they all had to stand around listening to terrible violin music. So unless you really enjoy that kind of thing, I highly advise you click both of those babies right now. And as you might surmise from all these risks, it's always good to be careful. Just put small amounts in at first. Don't take all your savings, don't sell your house, and don't mortgage your kids. Just put a tiny bit of money. I usually do as little as $100 or even $10 if I want to just check something out, which is probably what I'm going to be doing here today. And now, with all the disclaimers out of the way, let's get to it. So what you're going to be needing here is of course MetaMask, and you're going to be needing a little bit of BNB on your MetaMask. Here I have 0.19, which is actually quite a tiny amount, but I hope it will be enough for this little demo. And once you got that set up, the first thing that we're going to do is head over to a site called farm.army. And this is an index site which tracks the prices and yields of all different kinds of DeFi farms and pools. And on the landing site here, you're going to see some new arrivals, and you're going to see some top volume locked and stuff like that. We're not too interested in that right now, because what we are searching for is the insane yields that just grants you those luscious percentages. And here, if you push farming pools, then you get to this side. Here you see a list of all the different farms that you can invest in, and over here you see what pools each farm is offering. And as you see, the first thing here is Cake on PancakeSwap. There you see the total volume locked, which is $8.9 billion, quite a lot of money. And the yield, which is 41% per year, and also the little number under here is 0.09% per day. So it's not bad at all. And here also it says the platform, which is this Pancake platform, of course. But what we want to do now is of course find the pool with the absolutely highest yield. So we're going to click this to sort by yield. Takes a little while and then it pops up, and here you see on this V platform, which if you see the same icon here, it's called the Value DeFi platform. We have a pair which is the Wrapped BNB STBB. I don't even know what that is, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna look over here. It says total volume locked. It's only 22k, so that's almost nothing. And the yield, ladies and gentlemen, what you're gonna be making a year is infinite. So that's just silly. And then we have below that the daily amount, which is 361% a day. So that means if you actually deposit $1 today, tomorrow you're gonna have $4.6. Now, the thing to know is that these percentages are never ever accurate. There's always not properly updated and it turns out to be something else, but it doesn't really matter because even if it's 100 times less than this, it's still quite insane. So to find this special deal, we're gonna click it and then it's gonna give us all the nerdy tech info if you want to get into that. I'm too stupid for that, so I'm just gonna click on the platform over here. Boom, shows a nice little rocket flying around, and then we're entered into the actual platform. Here it says, you have a question? No, I don't. And since I already used this before, it says my account address here. But if you're just entering here for the first time, you want to click up here, it says connect, and you're gonna get a screen like this. You're gonna select your MetaMask wallet, and you have to approve it, and then it will finally look just like this. Now, remember that warning I told you about things being hacked and stuff like that? Yeah, well, this just happened actually on this very site. So the threat is real, guys. It happens. And another thing I can also show you here is I've actually used this site once before just to play around with it. And what I used then is this thing, XBLZD, which is the Blizzard token, which I'm sure is named that just to confuse people and think it has anything with the gaming company. It doesn't. And it also paired with the BUSD token. So I have deposited a total of, whoa, $69. Woohoo, crazy. I'll go back to that a little bit later and I'll tell you just how that's been working out for me. Spoiler alert, not too well. But for now, we were looking at this other pair, which was called Wrapped BNB STBB. And if you want to do a little bit of research and see what you're actually investing in here, you can always head over to CoinGecko and look up this STBB or the stabilized BSC coin. Never heard about it before. This is just a fun tutorial, so I'm not gonna bother even reading up on it. But there's definitely gonna be loads of more info if you're actually serious about investing in this coin. You can always check out the Telegram, it's always a good source, or their Twitter, or even their GitHub. And to find this on the Value DeFi platform, we're gonna just do a simple search. So I don't want to search for Wrapped BNB because that's a really popular token, so I guess then we'll find tons of things. Instead, I'm gonna search for STBB. Click in here, STBB. Boom, here it is. And now you're gonna see the actual real percentages, which is now, according to this, it's supposed to be 32 or almost 33 million% a year, which means each and every day you're gonna be making 3.5%. So it's not the crazy thing that was promised here, 361% a day. It's still pretty good because 3.5% a day quickly amounts to a lot of money. And now I'm going to show you just how to do that. So to enter this pool and reap the rewards, we're going to be needing 50% of STBB and 50% of BNB, which is of course the Binance token. And seeing that you found this video, I'm guessing that you don't really need to do much more research on the Binance token, as you should know very well what that is by now. And like I showed in the very beginning of the video, I also have a little BNB on my MetaMask account. So the only thing we're actually missing is the STBB. And to get a hold of that, we're actually going to take a tiny bit of BNB and swap it over to STBB. And to do that, we're going to go back to CoinGecko. See here, we see the site for the STBB. And then we're going to go down here. You see contract. It's on the Binance Smart Chain. And it's this long address here. And then there's even a tiny icon to add this token to your MetaMask. So we're going to be clicking that. Pops up here. And asks, do you want to add this token? Yup, I do. Boom. Now if we look in our MetaMask, we should see it here in the very bottom. It's the STBB. And to swap a little bit of BNB over to STBB, we're going to click it and then do swap. And since I clicked the STBB and ask swap, it always assumes that you want to swap from that into something else, but that's not what we're going to do. So we're going to click this button here to swap them around again. And then we're going to select the token here, which is of course the Binance. And as you can see, this is also highly speculative stuff. So it says this token has not been verified. So we're going to just click continue. Doesn't really do much, does it? And now, if you wanted to swap one whole Binance token over to STBB, would put that in there. Of course, I don't even have that much in my account. I have 0.1 Binance But I do not want to spend that much money on this silly little project. So I'm going to do 0.01. That's $5. Okay, I can afford it. And I'm going to click review swap. It's going to check a lot of different decentralized exchanges until you finally get to this page which says market price is unavailable. Make sure you're comfortable. Yeah, it's $5, so whatever. Now it's gonna count down. We only have a little while to review this, but it's basically says so we're gonna get 2.8 STBB for this, and this is the fee we're gonna be paying, which is actually the interesting thing because we don't want to waste tons of money on a silly little thing like this. So when this is all cool, we're gonna click swap. It's gonna process, and if it takes a long time, we can always click this to view the transaction. It says pending. Here we have the confirmation. Woohoo! And there we go. The swap is done. So now if we click back here, it should say, yeah, there we go, 2.8 STBB. So with that all in place, we're gonna go back to the value DeFi platform, and now we're gonna start actually depositing this. But before we're even allowed to do that, we always have to approve this setup. So we're going to click that. There's going to be a little pop-up from MetaMask. Ask, are you sure about this? Do you really want to enter this pool? It's going to cost you a little bit of money. Okay, we're sure. Let's go. And there it is, the confirmation. Now it says start earning, but as you can see, it's grayed out. So we can't actually start earning. And that's because, first of all, we got to add liquidity. So we're going to push that. Boom, it's going to take you over to PancakeSwap, where these tokens are already automatically filled in. So you see here it says STBB, and here it says BNB. And before we can actually, again, do any deposit here, we have to unlock the wallet. So we got to connect our MetaMask to this. We're going to click the top bottom here. It asks which one do you want to connect. It's always the top one. Next, connect. There we go. Now it asks how much do you actually want to add to this liquidity. Since we just swapped $5 worth over to STBB, we're going to hit max there, and then we can approve this. If we try to hit max on BNB, it's going to say you don't have enough STBB because we have way more BNB than we have STBB. And if you remember, this is a 50-50% pool, so we have to have equal amount of each one to enter. And you can even see here, to be able to make this deposit of 0.17 BNB, I would have to have 50 STBB, but I don't. So instead, I'm going to click max here, and it's going to deposit all of this, and it's going to find the appropriate amount of BNB. And when that's all done, I'm going to approve it again. And here it says, are you sure you want to do this? Again, it's going to cost a tiny bit of fees. I'm going to confirm it. Then we're waiting once again. And there it is. Now you think, oh, I just entered into the pool. No, you didn't. You just approved it. So then you gotta push supply. You want to confirm it? Yes, I do. Again with the pop-up, confirm it. Yup. It's being submitted. You think it's now ready to go? No, it's not. Still gotta wait for the confirmation. There it is. Transaction confirmed. And with that in place, we can finally start depositing the liquidity tokens we just created by combining these two other tokens. So you can see here, this is how many liquidity tokens I now currently own. As this is a 50% of each token, I had $5 of STBB, and now I have the same amount of BNB. So in total, it's a little bit over $11. I'm gonna just add all of this. I'm gonna click max and start earning. Boom. You think this is it now? No, it's not. First of all, you gotta, that's right, confirm, correct, submitted. Now it's done? No, still not done. You gotta wait for it. And boom, there it is, boys and girls. And now you can see also the number changed in here. So it says, oh, we deposited this much. Now it's basically just a matter of sitting back, relaxing, and seeing your money grow. And this was of course just one of endless amount of pools that you might want to toy around with and enter a little bit of money here and there. And after doing this just a little while, you're quickly going to be racking up your investments and have money scattered all over the place. So to keep track of all of these, I'm going to head on over to another site which is called growing.fi, or Growing Finance. Now this is a kind of investment tracker where you can connect your wallet over here. You can see I'm already connected because I've used it before. But what you want to do is just hit a little button up here, and you're going to be asked, you want to connect? You're going to click yes. And once you've done that, you're gonna see an overview of all your assets, both what you have in your wallet and what you have invested. So this is all the money I currently have on this MetaMask. Not a lot, just a small sum. And here's what I've been earning, also not very much. And this is what's pending, which means it is waiting to be transferred to my yield. Here it also says a little bit of what kind of tokens I have in my account. You see a nice little graph that shows where I have most of my money, and we see what kind of tokens do I have in my actual wallet, meaning the money that's not currently invested. And this is the interesting thing, where you see what platforms I am invested in. Now everything you see here, this whole tracking site from growing.fi, it can actually also be done over at farm.army. What you want to do then is click here up at farm.army, and you want to connect your wallet. So click use that, and then it's going to look through all your transactions and find basically the same thing as you see here over at growing.fi. However, personally, I just prefer the layout of growing.fi to the one of farm.army. So up to you. Now, I have most of my money in Cryptos, and I really like that platform. I'm gonna make a new video on that later, but for now, we're gonna find what we just invested in here in this video, which was of course the WBNB and STBB pool. As you can see, it currently says I have deposited this amount. If you remember, this is not correctly. Actually, it's supposed to be double that, but it might be updated later on, and after a day or so it will also update to show how much money have you actually made on this. And to show how it looks after a while, I'm going to point over to this box where I invested a little bit of money about a week ago, and you can see here that my deposit was $61, and in about a week it made $8, so at the current time it's $69. Now this looks pretty good, right? More than 10% in just a few days. However, that's not the full story, because what happened was I actually invested a little bit more than this. I deposited, I don't know, I think it was about $75, and I made 10% of that, so it should actually be more than $80 up here now. But what happened was, of course, that the Blizzard token decreased in value, so that I'm now actually worse off than I was when I started. And this is what I was talking about, the impermanent loss. And this is even though this investment is in the pool that's paired with a BUSD, which is of course a stable coin, which means there's less chance of impermanent loss since the BUSD is stable. But still, even with this insane yield, and you think you're gonna make tons of money, chances are you're gonna lose them. But sometimes you might also get lucky. If this Blizzard coin ends up rising again, then I do stand a real chance of making a hefty profit. Now, a way to get around this, where you don't have to worry that much about this impermanent loss, is to invest whole single coins, as I've done here with the ADA and the BNB and DOT and Link. So these investments do not carry the same risk of losing value. However, there is another caveat, and that is with this platform, they actually have a 0.5% fee for withdrawal. So that means even if you made, let's say 1%, you go like, oh, I made a whole percent, and then you withdraw your funds, they're gonna take 0.5% of all your money, and you're left with almost no gains at all. But this platform is actually made for storing funds at longer periods of time. So all these different protocols, they all have their different pros and cons. And you gotta read up on it, because you'll potentially lose a lot of money to unforeseen expenses. Often it will pay more to find a specific coin that you are very bullish on, let's say for example Link, which I have here, and then you can go and try to find places to invest that. So if we head back over to farm.army, we can also search for every place that has this Link coin in their pools, and you can see there's all sorts of different opportunities here. Again, we can search by yield, and we can see this Wrap BNB and Link pool will pay you 22,000% a year, so that's almost 1.5% a day. And this is over at the Panther, what's it called? Panther Swap platform. Never heard of it, sounds sketchy, probably is. But yeah, if you want to take a chance, maybe you can make a lot of money. But what I rather like to do is if you search by name, you're gonna see all these different peers here. And if you scroll down, you're gonna see all these single link setups, which are just pure investment for the link token, where you don't have to count on some sketchy pairing. And here, for example, you can see this one over at PancakeSwap will promises to pay you 87%, which is really good for a single token investment like this. And a good little trick then is to find a really stable and secure setup like this and put a bigger portion of money there so that you will get a sizable reward every day, and then use that reward to play around with all these other opportunities. But again, of course, it comes with a risk. Do you want to take it? That's up to you. And that's all I have for you today, my cryptic friends. Now you know how to use these tools, and I hope you'll be able to find some insanely, stupendously lucrative deals in the DeFi market. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I will continue making these kinds of videos, and I hope crypto will be able to change your life too.